Who's entering a private residence without permission? I'm reporting you. Master Su, please don't misunderstand. I'm Gao Shuo, a scout from the Northern Provincial Prison. The one who climbed my roof. How come you're kneeling under the window and not climbing the roof today? I'm just following orders. Do forgive me, Master. I was ordered by the general to give this to Master Su. The general ordered me to wait for you at the manor and to hand this over as soon as possible, but he also reminded me not to disturb your rest. I waited the whole night. It's okay for me to wait, but I worry that this treasure box cannot. A treasure box? What's inside? Why is there a slitted tongue? What craze is Shinchi in now? Oh, right. The general also asked me to give this to Master Su. Shinchi isn't someone who fools around. There must be some other meaning behind this box. Confession. This is the confession of my ex-teacher, the chief. So, after the chief was falsely accused in court, his body was stored inside an ice house in the Northern Provincial Prison. Feng Chui oversaw this unjust case and drove a minister to death. The chief's slitted tongue, confession, and remains are the best evidence. Is this the opportunity the emperor is waiting for? Why didn't General Shin come to see me in person for such an important matter? Before the general fainted, he repeatedly reminded me not to tell you of his severe wounds. Master, you should pretend you don't know. Severe wounds? Fainted? What situation is he in now? Tell me clearly. Once the general returned from Dongyuan, he was subjected to torture. Luckily, his life is intact. His current wounds have flared up, and his fever persists. A few famous physicians who came also said that he was incurable. I knew that Feng Chui wouldn't have forgiven him. He has a high fever caused by a local infection, and antibiotics are needed to sterilize it effectively. If Shinchi had killed me ruthlessly, he wouldn't have ended up like this. He sacrificed his life to save me. A common illness that is curable with just a single capsule in the modern era is a hellish, life-threatening condition in ancient times. Besides, in this era, there isn't any penicillin or cephalosporin. Master Su? If we mobilized all of General Shin's subordinates to find fermented green mold in the whole town, how much would we find? I have to save Shinchi. The situation may be dire, but I still need to try. Fermented green mold? Why do we need such a disgusting thing? To treat the illness. If we mobilize all our men to procure from all over the capital, within a few days, we would have gotten our hands on some. I need a shorter procurement period and a larger amount. Sorry to trouble you, but can you think of any other ways? I've thought of one. The monks of Tianning Temple always make pickled mustard juice every year. Last winter when I was coughing, I asked them for a cup, and it was effective in reducing the phlegm and cough. This. Pickled mustard. Does it have something to do with the fermented item I mentioned? The monks use a large vat to hold the mustard greens and make them ferment naturally. When the mold within grows to about 3 or 4 inches, they seal the vat and bury it underground. After a few years, they dig it out, and the mustard would have turned into water, which becomes the so-called pickled mustard juice. If Master Su is looking for a large quantity of fermented goods, then you'll certainly find plenty of them there. That's right. I need it, so take as much as they've got. If they are unwilling, just show the soldiers in town this plaque given by the prince and get them to ask for it. They might be more useful locally. What about you, Master Su? I'll head to General Shin's residence first and check the extent of his wounds. Don't delay, and send the items you procure back to the Shin residence as soon as you get a hold of them. The general is inside. I'm just a servant and subordinate, so it's inconvenient for me to enter his personal chambers. Master Su, please help yourself. The wound on his back is necrotic. I can even see his bones. If I'm not wrong, he received grooming, one of the top 10 cruelest tortures that we came to know of 500 years later. Desperate times call for desperate measures. If you're awake, don't blame me for making a decision on my own. Nope, I'd rather you blame me, but you have to survive this ordeal. Please wake up. With the general's current condition, all medicine is failing. I have an alternative remedy we can try. Before our general fainted, he told us that if Master Su visited and gave us any orders, we were to follow. Everyone in this manor has seen a drawing of you, Master Su. No wonder I entered the Shin residence without any obstructions. He is always up to some trick, even until death. Gao Shua's accidental confession wasn't real, but this critical illness is. In order to make the medicine, I need some utensils. Please report it to the housekeeper, and let him immediately send out my orders to prepare them as soon as possible. Saving a life is like fighting a fire. Understood. Just follow what I wrote here. Remember, the sooner, the better. Understood. Master Su. I've got them. This large vat of mold is unrefined penicillium, which can't be directly used on humans. Looks like I'll need to try refining it myself.